Share this. Good morning, good morning. My name is Jennifer Tom,
And I'm Darlene Rample.
and it's Wednesday. It's
Yes.
Grief Talk time, and we have to acknowledge that we are late. Seriously, darling. I always say we have the intention to be here on time and to share lessons learned through life and loss, and things happen in our lives.
Imagine that.
Maybe the phone rings or
Mhm.
somebody shows up.
Mhm.
However, we acknowledge that we're not here at 10:15 and now it's almost 11. So we're going to get started because this month,
Mhm.
it's all about love. It's February.
It is.
Darlene, tell us more. Like, there's a recap from last week. And I'll also check my phone to
Mm.
make sure we engage and
Mhm.
share and be more interactive because that's our
Mhm.
goal for 2023, to interact more,
Mhm.
because this is a safe place where we can share lessons learned through life and loss. So I'll
Mhm.
let Darlene start us up.
Yeah. So last week we shared about listening and being a heart with ears. So lots of times when we are listening to somebody, when somebody's telling us things, we often kind of shut off and our brain actually goes to what we want to say next, or we're not paying attention, or we're thinking about the next thing we can say to help them understand what we want them to understand. And so when people are going through grief, they don't need a lot of criticism. They don't need people telling them what to do or how they should feel. They just need somebody to listen. And if you can think back maybe to a time where you were really struggling with something, and you were trying to share with somebody and they kept interrupting you or putting a different topic on, so again, that can be not as helpful as being able just to be present with somebody and listen to them, and let them acknowledge, let them share their feelings, let them share about what they're doing. So in order to love people, we need to learn to listen well.
I love that. And oh my goodness, listening. There's that quote that they talk about. That's why we have 2 years in 1 month.
Yes.
So it is a practice
Mhm.
that I'm learning. And I am very thankful for the community and the support, and also my friend Darlene and other friends out there and my mentors who have taught me how to listen.
Mhm.
Uh, it is not by default that
Mhm.
you grow up and know how to listen. It's like
Mhm.
actually life experiences teach us
Mhm.
how to listen.
Mhm.
So that's one. So I'm excited because today we're going to talk about how to bring out the best in others. Isn't that love? Like,
Mhm.
if we can bring the best out,
In
to bring
others.
out the best in others, I
Mhm.
think that definition is love. What
Mhm.
do you think?
Yeah. How do we help and support people so they can be the best they can be?
So that's the topic today. And I have to say that I actually am going to share this because remember, Grief Talk is a place where we share lessons learned through life and loss.
Mhm.
And my coach, my mentor, Brendan Burchard, just did an amazing chat and discussion about how to bring the best in others. And I'll be sharing what he shared because I thought, oh my goodness, we all need this. And
Mhm.
he had like 10
Mhm.
10 points.
Mhm.
We, because of time, we're only going to share five, and I love them so much.
Mhm.
So Brendan Bachad, thank you for teaching me, and I'm going to teach others because that's what Grief Talk is
Mhm.
all about. So the first one, the best, the how to bring the best in others is, we all need to challenge ourselves that we need to see others with a joyful soul. How do you see others in a joyful soul? So I used to say before that when you meet others, you look at them in the eye and you look at them with love eyes. Like,
Mhm.
like this has been my practice too. When I see someone, I say, I wish you health, I wish you love, I wish you abundance, without saying
Mhm.
a word. It's just
Mhm.
my eyes connect with
Mhm.
you. That's what I wish for you.
Mhm.
And now we have a new one where we challenge ourselves to see a joyful soul in others, to see a joyful soul in others. And that means beyond the hurt, beyond the anger, and the
Mhm.
beyond greed, and
Mhm.
beyond all the trauma that goes with
Mhm.
life. So how can we actually do that, when, because life is life and people hurt us,
Mhm.
and if someone has hurt me, I would have to really challenge myself to see a beautiful soul, to see a joyful soul in. So,
Mhm.
Darlene, could you just tell us how do we how do we do that? Because there are people that we meet, which is, this
Mhm.
is life. People who hurt you, people who say
Mhm.
hurtful things, and it is not easy to see them as a joyful soul. So,
Mhm.
how do we do that?
That's a good challenge. First, I think we have to, when we're meeting people. First, we have to kind of figure out what's going on in us, because usually we can't see the other person except through our filter. So I think the challenge is to look past, right? Just to take that quick moment to say, okay, what am I feeling, and is that about me or the other person? Because usually our reaction to other persons is our stuff, not their stuff. So if we want to see somebody as a joyful person, or as a person besides that, we need to do that quick eternal internal right thing. Okay, what's going on in me? And then let that go. This is not about me, this is about them. And actually truly look at them as not an extension of your feelings or what's going on in your life, but what is that person. And I think the belief that that person is unique, and we have to have that core belief that people are unique, they're special, they have intrinsic value, and then we can see them as different. As then we can see them differently. We can see them as joyful people.
I love that. I love that so much. And we have to just be vulnerable here, because that's what we do in Grief Talk. It is a challenge. We need to challenge ourselves
Mhm,
that when you meet others, you see them as a joyful soul,
mhm,
despite the anger, despite everything that they hurt. So that's our challenge for all of us. It's a challenge for me.
mhm,
As I said, I've been hurt. People have said things that I don't like,
mhm,
and I need to challenge myself to see them as a joyful soul. So that's our challenge today. And today, thank you for joining us. Give us a thumbs up
mhm,
if you're listening. Today, we're talking about how to bring out the best in others. And the first one we said, let's challenge ourselves when you see others, see them as a joyful soul.
mhm. Yeah.
See past the hurt.
Mhm,
Okay, so let's go. Number two. Point number two is this is just what Darlene was talking about, listening.
mhm,
And when we say listen, is listen closely
mhm,
so that you're able to know their dreams. Because if you
mhm,
know people's desire and their dreams,
mhm,
you'll be able to encourage them.
mhm,
And that's where the
mhm,
listening comes. It's just not listening to respond, but listening. What what are their desires in life? What are
mhm.
their dreams? And then we're able to
Encourage them.
encourage them.
Mhm. Yeah, when you're able to acknowledge somebody's dream, or even from what they're telling you, when you can
Mhm.
say, "Oh, it sounds like you would like to do this," right?
Mhm.
Then you encourage them to focus on their dreams, right?
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that so much. Then which takes us to the third point.
Mhm.
When you know what people love, or what their dreams are, or what their desires are,
Mhm.
the next thing is that we open doors for them. So, because we've
Mhm.
listened, we know what their love and desires are. You can start sending them links. You can
Mm,
start
okay.
connecting them to people. Okay, so I find out that Darlene loves horses.
Mhm.
So, guess what? Because I listened to what she loves to do,
Mhm.
now I'm gonna, and I know somebody who has a horse,
Mhm.
or has a connection with horses, or
Mhm.
another person who loves horses
Mhm.
like Darling. I send, or I watch a
Mhm.
podcast
Mhm.
or a link to what you love,
Mhm.
then I send it to
Mhm.
you.
Mhm.
That's how we bring the best in others, right? So
That's
it
awesome.
starts by listening. You know what they love, their
Mhm.
desires, then you connect them.
Mhm.
Because most times we think it's doors that need to be opened for us, but
Mm.
now it's a switch where we need to open doors for others.
That's awesome.
I love that so much. I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, so guess what? If we don't listen, you'll never know what they
Mhm.
love, and you'll never connect them, and then we don't bring the best in others.
Mhm.
So I love that so much. Please,
Mhm.
challenge for you, our guest listeners, is listen, find out what someone's desires and love and their dreams, aspirations are, and then connect them. Send
Mhm.
them links. Send them podcasts. Say, oh, I watched this horse
Mhm.
YouTube, darling. Here you go.
Mhm.
Okay, so as we said, we're gonna share 5 points. So our fourth point is like ask people about their feelings more. Feelings.
Yes.
Darlene knows all about feelings.
And if you're not a feeling person, if somebody asks you about your feelings, you usually reply, "I think." So when you hear somebody, when you ask them how they're doing or what they're feeling, and they say, "I think I'm," or "I think this," then you know that they're intellectualizing and not sharing their feelings. So sometimes it's really hard for people who are not used to sharing their feelings, right? So when you can actually talk to somebody, and I think another thing, and I know we talked about this in our class last night about helping children with grief, that sometimes we have to share a feeling first and then allow the other person to share a feeling. So even with our kids, right? If they're upset, we know they're sad about something. Let's say their grandparent is ill. We can say, "Oh, when my brother or someone was ill, I felt sad," and then let them share. So I think with emotions, we have to be willing to share our emotions first before before others will share emotions with us.
I love that so much. Like this was new to me. So thanks to Brendan Bachard again, who told me to ask about feelings. Because
Mhm.
most times we say, how is it going?
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
How is it going? Is not a question.
Or what are you up to?
Wait, that is uh
Yeah.
mm. So instead, how about we ask how someone feels about their day?
Mm.
How do you feel about your day? How do you
Mm.
feel about your project?
Mhm.
How do you feel about your relationship?
Mhm.
Ask the feeling question.
Good one.
And that's how we bring the best in others when we
Mhm.
start asking about the feeling instead of just saying, how's it going? And
Mhm.
I have to say, I've asked that to say, hey, how's it going? And right, that's
Yeah,
how
that's what we're
we've
used to
been
doing.
trained.
Mhm.
So again, today we're talking about how to bring out the best in others,
Mhm.
and we're just sharing about lessons learned. And I learned these points from Brendan Burchard, and I love them so much. So I'm just gonna recap, or maybe let's finish
Yeah.
the fifth one. The fifth point is that is and Darlene is gonna love this. We did not prepare. We usually actually don't prepare for grief talk. We just go, which I love because
Mhm.
it's live. There's no editing. It's just us being vulnerable and saying as it is. We make mistakes and we love it because we're humans. So the fifth one is a listen through their venting without judging. I have to
Mm.
tell you, when someone is venting
Mhm.
or sharing a challenge, how can we listen without judging?
Mm.
Darlene, please help us with that. Because I vent all the time to Darlene, and she's like,
Well, I think if we've done the previous things, right? So if we've kind of cleared our heads, we see them as a valuable person,
mhm,
right? And we're listening to what they're saying. We're asking them about, right? We're letting them have their feelings. Maybe it's acknowledging the feelings, not the venting, not the situation, but instead listen with a heart and then just validate their feelings. Um, Sounds like you're frustrated about not right about losing your job, or are you, yeah, it's how, are you angry about, right? But just try to get those feelings in there and listen for those feelings, and when you're concentrated on them, then you won't be as judgmental as because judgmental is always comparing yourself with them usually, right? Or comparing what you know with them. So when you drop comparisons and just listen to somebody for who they are, because we know each person is unique. Everyone who experiences something is unique, and it's 100% grief for them, no
mhm.
matter what the situation is. It's not the same grief for you because you don't have that same relationship or you didn't have that same event happen to you. So again, I think that listening, right? Listening, valuing that person, pulling out the feelings and listening for feelings that you can acknowledge, help them understand. Then I think we'll be less judgmental about our friends or people who are running to us.
I love this topic so much. I love this February topic. We chose the theme of love, and we this it just makes us better people,
Mhm.
because what is life? Life is
Mhm.
love, right? And so today, just a quick recap, we talked about how to bring out the best in
Mhm.
others, and I love all the points so much. Thank you, Darlene,
Mhm.
for giving us deeper meaning on the points. Like, the number one, just to recap, is challenge yourself to see others as a joyful soul. Challenge yourself. I like the idea challenge, because it's not easy
Mhm.
to see a joyful soul when you've been hurt.
Mhm.
Number two, listen closely so that you're able to hear their
Mhm.
dreams, their aspirations, their their dreams, right? Because if you listen and you know what they love,
Mhm.
you can encourage them. And after you hear what they love, now you can connect them, open doors for them, send them links, send them a podcast, send a book,
Mhm.
anything, right? These are things how we can bring the best in others.
Mhm.
And number four, we talked about ask people about their feelings, and go like ask about feelings. How do you feel? How do you feel about your project? How do you feel about your relationship? And that way, I feel
Mhm.
like it creates even a deeper connection when you talk
Mhm.
about feeling. And lastly, listen through their venting without judging, because at some point in our lives, we all need to vent. We all need to just
Mhm.
vomit, venting. And can you imagine us being listening without judgment and having a heart with ears, as we
Mhm.
say? And all those things, they help us
Mhm.
become people that we're meant to be, makes us live fully, and it
Mhm.
makes us connect with each other.
Mhm.
And I love Stronger Life
Mhm.
because this is where we connect with
Yeah.
each other. And lastly, I just want to say thank you so, so much for everybody who is taking our workshops,
Mhm.
sharing our information,
Mhm.
attending our classes. It's
Mhm.
been so great.
It has.
And I love it so much. And also, people were sharing our books.
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm just full of gratitude this morning,
Mhm.
darling. I would just cry because we started as an idea.
Mhm.
We started as a friendship first, to
Mhm.
an idea, and now we are able to touch lives
Mhm.
and share grief resources and
Mhm.
share lessons learned through life and loss.
Mhm.
So please, we are going to share
Mhm.
a link on
Mhm.
Facebook. If you don't mind giving us a review, we'll start
Mhm.
asking for reviews, because
Mhm.
we are growing, and we are touching lives, and we are sharing
Mhm.
lessons learned through life and loss.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. And we just got an order of new books. So if you haven't read or seen Our Flowers Aren't Enough,
yes.
it's a great little book that you can share with people. It's lots of journaling, lots of practical things that you can do. So if you haven't got a copy yet, get a copy, give it to a friend, give
Yeah.
it to somebody you know who needs it.
That's awesome. Thank you for connecting with us.
Mhm.
Please check out our website. We have beautiful, amazing events coming up every
Mhm.
month. And we are on fire to share with you and
Mhm.
connect with you. Until next Wednesday, please bring the best in others. Thank you.